Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while, but I've just been so busy with travelling. Obviously Corporate Angels is going very well at the moment, so events are all over the country. We've just done a massive event in Pakistan for Ronaldinho and friends, and that was so successful. But obviously being around all these events, I'm currently in the Netherlands in a hotel room, as you can tell, but in the Netherlands at the moment to prep for Monaco Yacht Show. Now, I wanted to do this YouTube channel just because obviously I'm in events constantly, and it's practically my whole life, so I get to see what's going on and which events are a real success and which events could do with some improvement. So I just wanted to give you 3 tips today that's just going to make sure your events are a smash hit every time, and just some objectives that you may already know, but it's just making sure everything's done in an in-depth detail. And although you think you plan everything to the extreme, there's always more that can be done, and if you've got a clear vision, that can really accelerate the success of everything. So here we go. So tip number 1, when you're planning your event, a lot of people have a criteria. Now obviously you have to have a structure and a criteria of how the event's going to go, but you also need to consider timing. Now, this is not necessarily timing, this is going to be 1 hour, 1/4 we're going to do this, 1/2 we're going to do this. When it's an event, you have to consider people's emotions and what they're going to want to be doing at that time. So for example, I know that if people are flying in from all over the world that morning, and their flight gets in at 6, they're more than likely not wanting to start activities till around later on in that day. They're going to want a bit of rest, and they're going to want to settle up. They just want to have some downtime. And also it's the same for an event in the evening. It starts at say 6:30, but you're not going to invite the most important guests till around 7:30, because then it'll be completely empty. So you want to make sure they arrive at the peak time. So when you're considering timings, whether it be planning or letting people know when to attend, or considering people's needs and what they will need to make sure that they feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, an event really isn't successful if the person doesn't feel looked after, happy, content, like they've had sleep. So really make sure that the timings are considered to an emotional extent, and not just as what's going to be practical for you, and for the event and for the people around that are actually working in it. Everyone has to be considered, but at the end of the day, the emotional state is one of the most important. My top tip as well, especially events when I have them abroad, I'm continually building my connections. I love LinkedIn, and I'm pretty much on about 37,000 connections right now, which is ridiculous, but it's having connections all over the place. Touch wood, nothing happens, but you have to know the right people that you can trust to do everything to a really, really good level. So even car service and pickup, or knowing people inside the airports to make sure everything runs smoothly. With Rosella and CA, we specialise in aviation as well, in the whole transfer and the travel side of things. So we're really in control for the whole experience. Now, the whole experience for me is every tiny detail of people not wanting to queue, people not waiting for a chauffeur driver, their driving being to a good standard and it being smooth, and the transfer to the hotel, and then when they get to the event they're calm and everything's on time. So having connections is really important, because that in different countries you can make sure people are as comfortable as possible. If there's like a last minute hotel change, you know who to contact, or if there's a private jet that needs sorting, you know who you can speak to. So really build up your connections on a global scale, because although you can have your event organised to the max, you never really know what's going to happen. And to have people that, even like in the entertainment side, or for random things, like even if you wanted a chocolatier at your event, just to have these people in your phone book that you can really call on, that of a good quality, that is second to none and so valuable. So always build up your connections in the events industry, and that is very crucial. Now, my 3rd tip is delegation, and my team, Corporate Angels, know that this is something that I'm very hot on. Now, people having specific roles, knowing what they need to do for the event, knowing what they're in charge of, and just being really hands-on and having their mind switched on for their roles individually is so crucial, because at the event you're going to get stressed. there's going to be crazy things happening. People are going to be coming from everywhere. You won't know what's going on half the time. And that's not me being unorganised, that's just the general situation. So for people to really know their roles, I mean, when we worked with Ryan Giggs and other football players in Pakistan, each lady was delegated to a football player to ensure they got on the jet on time, they were prepped for the matches, you know, they really knew where they were going, they knew the schedule, they knew when to be at dinner, you know, so to have that kind of support and structure is really, really valuable. So whenever you're delegating, whether it be for a person who's doing the event management, to the food, to the overall prep, to the timing, to the music, you know, or even just looking after people individually, make sure people are really aware of this situation and it's all planned out before the event starts. And, you know, training is also crucial. So the more training you can get in, the better. We're very hot on training at CA. So I hope you've enjoyed my 3 top tips, and who knows the next country I'll be doing my YouTube channel from. But anyway, enjoy, and thank you very much for watching.